about why men are not approaching women anymore. So we are often seeing women online posting about creepy men or really just declaring a distaste for men in general. But specifically here, I want to talk about approaching them. I think there has been a natural response from men that's resulted in less men approaching in person, but also just interacting in other ways too. Don't go where you aren't wanted, right? I was obviously curious about this, and when I started researching, I decided to do a poll on my community page on YouTube here, and it was honestly really tough reading through all of the comments. So my question in the community post was, how many of you guys are hesitant to or avoid interacting with and approaching women altogether out of fear of being seen as creepy? 35,000 people voted. There were 35,000 votes, and 54% said, I am hesitant for this reason. 11% said, I avoid women altogether for this reason. 17% said, it doesn't bother me or I don't care. And 18% said, I don't interact or approach for other reasons. But I just think it's crazy that 35,000 people voted and 54% said that they are hesitant to approach for this reason, and then another 11% said they don't approach at all for this reason. So 65% of men, according to my poll, are not approaching women or interacting with women out of fear of being seen as creepy. So just based off of that post and interacting with you guys and reading through your comments, there were 4 main reasons why men are not approaching women anymore, and I'm going to go through all of those in this video. So the first one, obviously, the whole point of this video is this creepy aspect, a fear of being seen as creepy. Listen, there are some things men and people do that are just downright creepy. And I know a lot of you guys will comment and say, well, it's only creepy if the guy is not attractive to the girl who he approached. And I think that's the case some of the time, but that's not what I'm talking about here specifically. I'm talking genuinely creepy regardless of what this person looks like or how attractive they are. And I'll give you guys a few examples just to make it very clear. Number 1 is catcalling. Don't do this. I don't know anyone who has ever had a positive result out of catcalling someone. Normally, this just makes the person feel uncomfortable and they continue to walk away from you faster. So avoid that one. The second thing that comes off as really creepy is being very sexual or making sexual comments right away. Again, something that I wouldn't recommend doing regardless of what you look like or who you're approaching. Unless you're at like a strip club or something, which I obviously don't recommend, we shouldn't be doing this. And the third thing I think is creepy, regardless of who is doing it, is touching her before you even know her. So I'll give you a personal example. This happened to me. When I was in high school, I was working out at the YMCA. I was on the floor doing an ab exercise routine, little circuit thing, and I was taking a break and I was sitting, like hugging my knees, and a guy came up behind me and started massaging my shoulders and talking to me. And honestly, to be totally transparent, he was very attractive. He was a DILF, as we like to call them, okay? He was incredibly attractive, very in shape, handsome, but it was still creepy because you shouldn't be going up to someone, massaging their shoulders from behind that you've never talked to or interacted with or even met in your life, okay? So that is a prime example of there are sometimes things men do that are creepy no matter what you look like. But to look at all this from a different perspective, there are things men do that are not creepy at all that women have all of a sudden categorized as creepy. Anything remotely not to their liking or somewhat off-putting, or again from someone who they are not into or attracted to, they're deeming as creepy. And I think that's why men are hesitant to approach, because most men I know don't do those things that I just talked about, right? They're just introducing themselves. They are, maybe looking in the girl's direction because they think she's attractive and the girl is calling that creepy. Like, I really don't understand why we've decided to be so dramatic about everything and make everything a scene and just call everything creepy, because everything is not creepy, okay? Someone looking in your direction is not creepy. So even sometimes when men are not being creepy at all, women will still roast you or post you online and try to get all these people rallying against you and roasting you. I think a lot of women have watered this down to a point where they're just labeling anyone they don't find attractive as creepy. Let's stop doing that. Let's save the creepy comments for the interactions and the men that are actually being creepy. And maybe stop being so overly sensitive and dramatic. And I'm saying that from a woman's point of view. Someone introducing themselves is not creepy. Someone glancing your direction because they think that you're attractive or beautiful is not creepy. So to wrap this one up here, I do think that there are some men who are doing creepy things, but I don't think it's the majority of men going out of their way to make people feel uncomfortable or to be creepy or be weird. I think a lot of it is just mislabeling men who maybe, aren't attractive to the girl that they're approaching, or the girl's having a bad day, or she's overly sensitive, labeling them as creepy, which I don't think is necessarily fair. I think this is an issue that I see a lot online. I feel like every time I'm on TikTok, I come across a video where it's like a girl at the gym and she's posting a video of a guy that glanced her direction and labeling him as creepy or a pedophile because he looked at her.